have you with us. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Camille, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, my name is Camille Jakominich. I am the owner of Ezential Yoga. I've been in business for about 2 years now. So I've been, let's see, a yoga student for 12 years. I've been a instructor for about 3 years. And I've been in physical therapy as an assistant for 24 years.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's such an impressive resume.
Thank you.
What have determined you to choose the path of yoga?
I have a history of psoriatic arthritis, and I have had that since I was 27. I am 51 now. So I've had that for a very long time. And yoga is something that has kept me mobile. And I am not on any long-term biological drugs or anything. And, and I've had this for, a long time. So I have to think that that has something to do with it. So
how did you discover yoga?
I actually I'm laughing only because I started yoga because I broke up with a boyfriend.
Okay, very interesting, very nice.
So I wanted something for more my mind than anything. And then I sort of left yoga for a little bit, and then I came back to it in my 20s. And yeah, I've enjoyed it ever since. So
I understand that you also embrace the meditation, the spiritual part of yoga.
Oh yes, without doubt. Gosh, I sound like such a mess, but I also I suffer from anxiety, and focusing on my breath, slowing things down, really helps me feel more at ease, and I'm more at peace with things. So yeah, the meditation is something that you have to learn, because your brain, the world is so fast paced that to be able to slow down in a moment and just focus on your breath is it's a wonderful gift to be able to slow things down.
Do you also teach meditation?
As part of the class, we breathe, in the beginning, and we also end with breath. So, yeah, so I do it as part of that. So.
Oh, I see. I understand. And you organize also workshops?
Yes. The type of yoga that I teach is more on the rehabilitative end. So, I've always wanted people like me who have arthritis, people who are limited in their mobility. Maybe they're recovering from injury. I want them to know that yoga is out there for them as well.
I read some wonderful reviews on your site.
Oh, thank you.
They are so happy to have you as a guru, as an instructor.
Well, I have a sense of I'm very bubbly. I want, I want them to feel at ease. And I have been dealing with people in their worst times, like when they're ill or when they're in pain. And I want them to be able to, maybe get away from it for like a moment, just to, focus and stretch. And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, they think, well, I'm not flexible enough for yoga. I'm like, well, actually, that's why you go to become more flexible.
you are saying that this type of yoga that you're doing helps rehabilitation. What is this yoga that you practice? I know there are many types of yoga. I'm not a specialist in yoga, but I know there are many types. So what is this yoga?
Well, I teach two types. So I teach chair yoga. And really it's not just based on like geriatric or the older community. I have people who are in their 30s all the way up to 80. So it's more or less the chair is just a support if they don't feel they have enough balance, or maybe if they don't have the mobility to get up and down from the floor. So, you know, and if they're with me long enough, then I progress them from the chair to the floor and doing a, you know, more traditional type yoga. So I also teach mat yoga, which is more, you know, hatha based, but more on the rehabilitation. I really do focus on form. I focus on not moving very quickly, moving slowly, so that they know where their body is in space.
That sounds wonderful. And one session of yours, how does it, what is the routine? How does it start? What do you do during this session?
With both my chair and the mat yoga, I always start by breathing. Then I always go through neck mobility. So like, you know, bringing ear to shoulder. The way I teach is very, you can walk into my class not knowing anything about yoga and be able to follow along, because I talk to them as I'm talking to you now. So I don't talk in Sanskrit. I really don't say, okay, go into warrior one. I sort of set them up into warrior one and say, okay, now this is warrior one. So
the course is very accessible.
Yes, it is. Anyone could do my yoga, I'm telling you.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And how many times per week is this class?
I have 2 chair yoga and 1 mat yoga. And then I also, you know, I sort of do one-on-ones. So, you know, if somebody wants more of like a private session, then I do that for them. But since COVID, I'm all virtual. Well, no, I have 2 people that come to my house, but other than that, it's all online. And, you know, so I'm slow, you know, I'm a small business. It's just me. So, you know, I'm slowly growing little by little.
That's wonderful. That's very nice. And if I want to ask, what are the benefits of yoga practice, for health, for spiritual, for the soul?
What I like about yoga, that I try to give to other people, is that you connect your mind to your body. I think I've been able to, I'm very aware of my body in space. Like, and that sounds so simple, but if you put, like, I would watch other yoga classes while I was in them. And, you know, someone like, even like a left hand or a right hand, like people a lot of times aren't aware where they are in space. So like putting your hand, you know, even just lining up, like put your thumb up. They're like, well, what do you mean? Like it's very interesting. So I wanted to make my clients aware of their body awareness. And what that helps them to do is even just posture. So you sit and you roll your shoulders forward, like being aware that you can open your chest, roll your shoulders back, and that's going to help. And like bringing your head back and not just letting it come forward. So I, you know, without, you know, throwing a lot of anatomical jargon at them, I'm like, okay, so this is where we want to be. And oh, okay. So yeah, I love that yoga can bring that.
So it's a body awareness.
Yeah. And in also your mindset, like having a positive mindset can help with someone's pain level. So it's interesting. It's,
Well,
you
yeah.
know,
So you're working on physical and mental level at the same time.
Yep. Without a doubt. Yep.
And this being part of spiritual as well, spirituality. Do you introduce people with the theories of yoga?
I don't, me personally, I would talk to anybody if they're open to that. I don't, some people are they're so private about their spirituality that if they want to talk about it, I'm good. Let's talk. Because I know my spirituality, like I know my faith, and I'm good with that. But some people do get a little turned off by some of the spiritual aspects of yoga. So I don't really cover that because I think they're more coming to me for that physical aspect, and maybe just helping them with their mindset. So, you know, they might come to me because they're anxious, or they might come to me, you know, they're coming to me for a completely different reason. So I don't, you know, it's almost like talking about religion and politics. I sort of go, well, you know, if you're open to it, great, but.
That's very nice. It's a very positive approach, I find. Yeah. Yes, sure. And then tell us one story about yoga. Something that
okay, I have a client who was also my physical therapy patient. So you know, she was you know, heavier when I first saw her. She was in like, I don't know, 250 pounds, and we connected a lot. So she ended up trusting me. She just knew that I had her best interests at heart. She ended up getting weight loss surgery, and I didn't talk to her for several months. And she, I kept in contact with her, and she's like, I want to see you. I'm ready. Let's go. And I'm like, okay, so are we going to do yoga, or are we going to? So I actually see her 3 days a week. She's lost an amazing amount of weight. And I actually showed her a picture of when I first had her in yoga and where she is now. And she's like, she was amazed. And I'm like, you are like, I'm very positive with her. So we're very close. And there's times where she's in pain, and, you know, we're both, she trusts me with that. And that to me is amazing. So she's actually progressed from being in the chair to doing, you know, mat yoga, which is phenomenal. Like I'm very excited about it.
So I understand that your relation with your clients, it's very open and friendly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I have a client in the UK who has autism, and she struggles, and I'm always very positive for her. So if she needs space, I give it to her. If she wants to, you know, I try to be as open with my schedule for her. Yes. For whatever she needs. And I had taught her, and then she was gone for like a year. And then she came back, and I was just so happy, because I was disappointed that I didn't get to see her. Like, she just, emotionally, she just couldn't do it. And she came back, she goes, all right, I'm ready. I'm like, yay!
This is really
So
wonderful. It's so alive. All
yeah,
this, I mean, it's
they're my
out of
people.
the
They're my
book
friends.
and out there, connecting
Yeah.
with life, with
Yeah.
people. That's wonderful, Camilla.
Thank
Wonderful. And then now you're teaching on Zoom, but where people, how they can find you? I see you have a Twitter.
Mm-hmm. I have a website, and of course, it's www.ezentialyoga.com. And I also have Facebook groups, and yeah, I'm all over the place. But yeah, so I started training people for like weight training and cardio and stuff like that. So it's sort of expanded a little bit more. So it's nice.
Yes, yes, yes. So you do not limit to one thing. You cover a
I
whole
try to
array.
cover I try to cover as much as I feel comfortable. That exercise prescription is, I've been doing physical therapy, which is exercise prescription, for so long. I feel comfortable about it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm not a nutritionist, so I wouldn't like say, oh, well, here, let me give you a diet. I don't want to do so. I mean, I've researched myself nutrition, and I have food allergies. So I have a knowledge base on it, but I wouldn't be able to just say, oh yeah, here, let me set you up. So I go where my wheelhouse is.
And about your workshops, how do they work? Are they weekend workshops, or how do you organize? Or now with the situation, something changed?
I see, what I liked was I was doing workshops because I was leasing a space. So I haven't done a workshop recently because I don't have a space to do them in. But I like, workshops are more like that day, like having several hours of, you know, teaching something specific, like sort of honing in on maybe a certain aspect of yoga. So like I did a workshop for people with arthritis. So it would show like how you can use different tools like your yoga blocks or a strap to sort of, you can still go into a yoga class even if you don't have that mobility. You can use a block, you can use a strap, but people don't know how to use them. So it's like having a workshop where you hone in on something specific. So that's what I do.
It's very good. And then are you planning for the future to travel to India or places like this to meet some other yogis, some other gurus?
Sure. And well, I mean, like I don't have any plans in the, like right now, but yeah, that would be wonderful. I would want to go with a group and, you know, experience that. That would be really neat to be able to do that.
Oh, that's all wonderful. So people, they can find you on Facebook, on Twitter. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do.
Yeah.
I got it all.
Oh, what is the name of your YouTube channel?
Ezential Yoga. So
Yoga.
yeah.
It's always the same. Well, it has been wonderful, Camilla, talking with you, sharing all this vivid experience and your positive energy. And I'm sure everyone will love it. Everyone that's interested in yoga will follow you and try to find you through all this media channel.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too.